it is. The Bullets. Ooh, you missed. Am I good? Thank you, Erica Sunshine Lee, coming back on the Humagoo tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, that was a fun one to record, and it was just super edgy, and I love the guitars. I love the production turned out exactly the way I was hearing it in my head when I wrote it. So I love the grit because that's a huge part of me. Starting out a classic rock band, I'm able to still, use my rock side. I'm not just like a timid country singer. I have such a love for classic rock, and that's kind of, I think, evolved and been an inspiration in my music through the years, which is actually the first song that I covered in 2004 when my classic rock band, when I started singing with John Lawton. He turned me on to Fleetwood Mac, and I just became obsessed, and I was hooked on that song, Dreams. And so that's why I released it on my new album as the first cover song I've ever recorded and released. So that's a tribute to John because he's no longer with us, and also Fleetwood Mac, who's inspired me greatly through the years.
Oh, what a great band. Oh, Fleetwood Mac, Rumors. I just heard that somewhere it was
Timeless.
on like the... Yeah, it was just, I think 38 weeks. It was like it was forever on the charts in 77. That was my time in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And timeless. Karen Lawrence was on my show, and she LA Jets at the time, and she recorded in the studio talking about that time that she couldn't go out because they were fighting in the hallway. Her band was staying at the place that they recorded at, and Sly Stone was there, and just the whole karma of the music, and then you're taking that as your influence, and Lindsey Buckingham, Stevie Nicks, and what a great, I love that influence in talking about. Tell us about some more of your great influence in that classic rock days, and I love the new show with the Bullets. It's really going to rock, and then you're going to have the little Caribbean side a little later, hey? Little both.
I'd say, I really love 90s country. I grew up listening to Shania Twain and Dixie Chicks, and I think the Sass and the Dina Carter and the Trisha Yearwoods, they were like powerful women that were really comfortable with themselves, and they strutted their stuff, but they were also they had dignity behind it. So it was really, I love the fact that they stood up for themselves and they told it like it was, and I love the Sass of Reba. I think that also the classic country like Loretta Lynn and Patsy Cline, and they're just timeless, and the nerve and the sass and the pizzazz of Dolly Parton. I mean, she's one of my all-time favorite heroes just because, A, she's one of the best songwriters in the world. B, she has an amazing, unique voice. And C, her charisma and her heart. She's been so giving and just unbelievable, like charities after charities, and it's just all she's done for other people. So I think as far as heroes, Dolly Parton's got to be on up there with the top for me. But it's just overall bad bitches in the theme. I mean, I love male country singers. I love male rock singers. Anything from Led Zeppelin to Leonard Skinner to Rolling Stones, all the way from Hank Sr. to Hank Jr. and the 90s country. I mean, I've got so many influences. It's just like crazy. When you hear my music, I love Smashing Pumpkins, and I love, Foo Fighters and the 90s rock too. So I'm just not only into country music. And I think through the years, it's kind of kept me interested because of my ADD, that I love to be able to write different styles, because when I'm writing for other artists, they're not going to sing the same thing I would sing. So I love to be able to kind of put myself in their shoes and go, what's their style? What do they want to say? What's their voice? And for me, it's like, play and dress up. You get to kind of put yourself in a different character. And speaking of, that's why I wrote Bad Bitch, because when I was down in Key West, I discovered the rum. Key West Legal Rum Distillery had a rum named after Spanish Marine weight. They called it Bad Bitch Rum. And when I heard the story of her being a real-life pirate that was running rum from Cuba to Florida in the 1920s, I was amazed because, I mean, that would be scary enough to go get on a pirate ship from Cuba to Florida. But, I mean, imagine 100 years ago. So I was just so impressed and kind of enthralled by her story, and didn't set out to, just write pirate songs by any means. The first I'm a Pirate was kind of more of a poke and fun song. But this was just such a different spin. And so we shot the music video in Key West and depicted her real life. And so it's based on a true story, and you can watch it on YouTube, Bad Bitch, Erica Sunshine Lee. And what's so cool is the fact that it won 2019 Music Video of the Year for the Tropical Rock Music Awards. So that turned out to be an amazing accomplishment and accolade for me. And just getting into the new genre of tropical rock the last 3 years has been an amazing experience, a new family that I found. So I think that kind of is where I was going with that. It wasn't necessarily like, to be a harsh thing. It was more of a, because I know some people see the title and they get scared, and I say, go watch the music video, then you'll understand. It's giving props to all the strong women out there who've ran their own business and not put up with crap from anybody.
What a story. You're right. A rum lady. Wow. Back in the day, all the ladies all the time. I was to say, without the grandmothers in the world, where were we going to be?
Exactly.
The glue to everything. Exactly. And
I guess I relate to her a lot just because I'm on the road by myself most of the time, and my journey across the United States and the world has been similar. When you have people try to hold you back, or people try to get in your way, or people try to take things from you or screw you over, you just have to stand firm, and you have to be a strong woman. And sometimes you're going to be criticized for it, sometimes you're going to be hated for it, but at the end of the day, you got to look out for yourself. When you're running a business, you also want to help other people. So it is a double-edged sword, but I just want to honor the women out there who have stood up and made a difference, and people like Harriet Tubman who left, just a huge legacy behind and have changed the world for the better.
Through my time in education, there's a lady named Ruby Bridges. Ruby Bridges, and she was the first one that went to a class in the 50s that stood up. One of the African American, she was a girl. Ruby Bridges is one of the great stories, that I'd like to share with everybody to check that out. She went to a school and nobody would go to school with her, a little African American girl, and she stood up and went by herself, and that was one of the groundbreaking, tragedies or, things that people have done. And, God bless her and all the, the strong ladies, I guess is what I'm trying to say,
Right.
Because that really changes the world, the heart. We need that, and your Erica, your music and your gift and your talent in your life it's just the beginning. You've had so much you've already done, but so much is going to continue. And,
exactly.
The one thing I know, you got great songs, I'm sure that everybody, Spring, Summer Fling, I'm going to play right now, and then we're going to come back. I know you got to probably scoot, but Summer Fling off of Buried Treasure, that must just be one of the classic ones. You have that whole Buried Treasure is great.
Thank you. The wedding song I do has been one of my favorites, and I've gotten to play it at weddings across the world and like 4 different countries, I think now. But being able to just have an album compiled of fun, happy, sweet, feel-good songs was the first for me. And so Buried Treasure has definitely been special. It just makes people smile. It gives them those memories. And for me, I think we've all experienced that summer love. And Summer Fling kind of was a mixture of things in my past and things I was going through at the time. And so that's what's cool about being able to write songs is it's not always first person, and it's not always what you're going through right then. So I reached back, and when I was 14 years old, I met a guy at the beach, and we had a great time. And so it was kind of parts of that and then parts of the relationship I was in when I wrote this song, and just how much you can just connect with somebody. And when you're at the beach, I mean, a vacation relationship is so different, and you can just get to know that person, and you don't have the stress of real life. So it's not always the real life depiction of what relationships are, but it's that like what we achieved, because it's that vacation feel of you're not worried about life. You're not worried about all the downsides. It's just that moment. And to me, that is like such a perfect snippet of what obviously the honeymoon phase is kind of like that. And it's lighthearted. It's just, it's pure bliss and happiness. And I love the beach. It's my favorite place ever. And so you have those moments to where even though it might not last, it's really awesome to be able to look back on those memories and just smile. And every time you hear the ocean waves, or every time you go back to that place or that boardwalk or smell that, ocean air or that suntan lotion, it just makes you think it. And I think we've all had that moment, whether it's several times or just that one special summertime fling that you met somebody and you experienced this love, whether it's just a quick romance or it was all summer long, and then you may not carry it further, but it still leaves that lasting impact, and it always makes you smile when you think about them.
Amen. And a great song and a great way to look at life, and everything comes full circle. So, amen. Let's do it. Summer Fling right now. Erica Sunshine Lee will be right back. Thank you.
Saw you in that Panama City street. You had your boys around, you headed out to the beach, sipping on summertime mixed with that lemon lime. I was wishing we were kissing, was just a matter of time. You got that nerve up and said, hey girl, let's say what's up. We talked in circles, found heaven till the sun came up. Next thing I know, it was over, it was all a blur. But every time I see that ocean, I remember the way you sweet boy would say my name, calling out and rock me like a hurricane. We were fire and ice, matches and gasoline. Yeah, you and me, burning down like kerosene. Our bodies so hot, our tan skin was glistening. The way the sweat and sand hung on like your lips on me was so real, better than a daydream. Can't shake this summer flame. Dancing on them hot coals. Ain't it crazy how two strangers melt into one soul? Breeze blowing, we both know it ain't gonna last. But I felt so much for you, I felt so hard, I felt so fast. That roller coaster ride ain't got nothing on the high. You left me wanting more, and now every time I close my eyes, think about that Florida coastline shining bright, reflecting on every memory we made that night. Your sweet voice would say my name, holler out and rock me like a hurricane. We were fire and ice, matches and gasoline. Yeah, you and me, burning down like kerosene. Our bodies so hot, our tan skin was glistening. The way the sweat and sand hung like your lips on me was so real, better than a daydream. Can't shake this summer flame. Just like the tide came and washed away our flip-flops. And I love it had to end, but I can't make it stop. Don't make it stop. The way you sweet boy would say my name, holler out and rock me like a hurricane. We were fire and ice, matches and gasoline. Yeah, you and me, burning down like kerosene. Our bodies so hot, our tan skin was glistening. The way the sweat and sand hung on like your lips on me was so real, better than a daydream. Can't shake this summer flame. This summer flame. So I can't shake this summer flame. Summer flame.
I love how that kind of fades out a little bit. It's like a thing in the back of the memory in Christmas or something, huh? The summer fling in the warm.
Yeah, it's just like that summer fling. You wish you could get it back, but it's just kind of floating out there, you know.
Yeah, and great karma, because that's life and relationships and good stuff and thinking back, and so